Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of Best NASCAR Seasons, Morgan Shepherd 1990. As NASCAR entered a new decade, Dale Earnhardt dominated the NASCAR Cup Series. Legendary race team Bud Moore Engineering signed veteran Morgan Shepherd to drive the team's number 15 Motorcraft Ford. Donnie Wingo served as the number 15 team's crew chief in 1990. To this point, Shepherd had been competing on the NASCAR Cup Series circuit since 1970, starting to run the full schedule in 1981. Going into the 1990 season, Morgan Shepherd had found victory lane twice before in his Cup Series career, the 1982 being the most successful Cup Series season for Shepherd, scoring 2 poles, 0 wins, 6 top 5s, and 13 top 10s, finishing 10th in final Cup Series point standings. Coming off a 1-year stint driving Ray Mach Enterprises number 75 Pontiacs in 1989, where he scored 1 pole, 0 wins, 5 top 5s, and 13 top 10s, finishing 13th in final Cup Series point standings. Now with a new team, Shepherd was hoping for a strong season, and that's exactly what he had. The Bud Moore Engineering number 15 team had been a NASCAR Cup Series team since 1961. Through the 1960s, the team was able to win back-to-back series championships in 1962 and 63, with Joe Weatherly behind the wheel of the team's number 8 Pontiacs. The team won 59 Cup Series races with 8 different drivers as they headed into the 1990 season. The number 15 team and Shepherd went to Daytona for Speed Weeks, and they would end up having a solid run in the 500. Starting 30th and throughout the 500-mile event, Shepherd worked his way up into 10th to open the 1990 season with a top 10 finish. To be honest, that number 15 Ford team was off to an amazingly consistent start of the 90 Cup Series season. In fact, Shepherd would not finish outside the top 10 for the first 11 starts of the season. This was the first time in NASCAR history a driver had opened up a Cup Series season with 11 straight top 10 finishes. Kyle Busch is the only other driver to have ever done so, which he did in 2019. Race 2 at Richmond, he finished 7th. Race 3 at Rockingham, he also finished 7th. Atlanta was the 4th race of the season, and Shepherd was very quick, starting 3rd, leading 14 laps, on his way to finishing 2nd, also putting the number 15 Ford team in 2nd place in the championship point standings. The track Too Tough to Tame, Darlington Raceway, was the 5th race of the season. Again, Shepherd was fast, starting 19th, leading 65 laps en route to a 5th place finish. Next up was 3 straight short tracks, Bristol, North Wilkesboro, and Martinsville. Still, with a very competitive number 15 Ford, Shepherd continued his top 10 finish streak. In those 3 events, Morgan's best start was 7th at Bristol, and his best finish was 3rd at Martinsville. The Bud Moore Engineering race team returned to a super speedway for race 9 in Talladega, starting 21st and leading 5 laps and finishing 8th. In the All-Star race, named the Winston, held at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Shepherd was again solid, starting 5th and finishing 9th. Another 8th place run in the Coca-Cola 600 held at Charlotte, followed by the first race of the season held at the high-banked 1-mile racetrack in Dover, landing the 11th straight top 10 finish in the 1990 NASCAR Cup Series season, where he finished 6th, even securing the point lead at the conclusion of the Dover race. For the 12th race of the season, the Cup Series ran their first road course race of the year. Donnie Wingo had a decent qualifying setup underneath that number 15 Ford for Shepherd, qualifying 8th, though on lap 70 out of the 74-lap event, the number 15's motor expired, leaving Shepherd to finish 29th. This was the first time in 1990 that they finished lower than 10th. The next 5 races were held at tracks 2 miles in length and longer: Pocono, Michigan, Daytona, Pocono, and Talladega. Morgan's best start was 2nd at Michigan in the early summer, and his best finish was 11th at Pocono in the early summer. With 2 finishes outside the top 30 and no really strong finishes, this 5-race segment was not a very good one for Shepherd of the 15 team. Now, the return to form for the next couple weeks at race 18 and race 19 held at Watkins Glen in Michigan in the late summer, finishing in the top 10 both weeks, 6th and 9th. Following the second Michigan race, Shepherd was sitting 5th in championship points. Race 20 in Bristol began another 5-race stint where they wouldn't qualify better than 13th and wouldn't finish better than 21st. At Bristol, they finished 31st. Darlington was 21st. Richmond was 30th, then 25th at both Dover and Martinsville. The 25th race of the season, held at North Wilkesboro, saw the number 15 Motorcraft Ford team begin to turn a corner, starting 26th and finishing 12th. Following the conclusion of the North Wilkesboro race, Morgan Shepherd had fallen all the way to 10th in series point standings. For the final 4 starts of the 1990 NASCAR Cup Series season, Bud Moore's number 15 Ford team and Morgan Shepherd would return to the same form that they had began the season with. Race 26 at Charlotte saw Shepherd qualify a disappointing 33rd. Morgan didn't remain there for long. As soon as the green flag would wave, Shepherd began passing race cars, leading 2 laps and matching his season best finish, that was second. Rockingham would see the number 15 team have a bit of a mid-pack performance, starting 22nd and finishing 12th. The final 2 NASCAR Cup Series races of the 1990 season were held at Phoenix and Atlanta. Out west at Phoenix International Raceway, Shepherd was a bit off the pace in qualifying, starting 30th. Again, though, when the green flag dropped, Shepherd began passing race cars. By the end of the 312-lap event, Shepherd finished 3rd. Atlanta Motor Speedway held the season finale race during this time period. Morgan had always been very competitive at the 1.5-mile Atlanta Oval, where he had won the 1986 spring race. He qualified 20th, but by lap 201, he was leading the race, leading a couple different times before taking the lead for good on lap 300. Morgan Shepherd ended up in victory lane at the end of that race that day, winning his 3rd career Cup Series race and then his 2nd career Cup Series race at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. With a late season rebound, Shepherd ended up finishing 5th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings, overall scoring 1 win, 7 top 5s, and 16 top 10s in 29 starts. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.